Hi. Hi. I'm going to be doing my slideshow. Mrs. Montgomery is all about me, and you are also going to do a slideshow. So I'm going to go through all these slides. This is kind of an example of what you are going to be doing this next week or this week. So you're going to have a selfie of yourself. There's my selfie. That was when we were on a vacation, and it was really awesome. So I was sad this summer that I didn't get to go on any great trips. Here is your first trivia quiz. Which state did Mrs. Montgomery grow up in? Was it New York, Oklahoma, South Carolina, or Vermont? I have lived in each of those states at one time in my life, but which one did I grow up in? And the answer is Vermont. My three grandparents all lived in this little starred area, and I lived about right there. I grew up right about there, just a little bit below that. Nice state, right next to Canada, right next to New Hampshire over here, Massachusetts below, and New York's on the side. What age did Mrs. Montgomery start taking pictures? Was it age 5, 9, 15, or 20? If you read my about on my webpage, you should know the answer to this. And I see I spelled the pictures wrong, so I need to go back and fix that. The answer is 9. This is one of the first pictures I ever took with the camera my mother gave me when I was 9. It was an Instamatic film camera. It was point and shoot, so all I had to do was look through the viewfinder, make sure everything was lined up right, and then to take the picture. It was mostly black and white film that I was using back then, sometimes color, but this was a black and white roll, and my grandmother's on the left over here, my mom's in the middle, and that's my great-grandmother. This was not long before she passed away, so this is a huge treasure. A photograph of 3 generations taken by the 4th. Where did Mrs. Montgomery go to college? Was it Hofstra on Long Island in New York? Was it Hartford University in Hartford, Connecticut? Was it Rochester Institute of Technology in Rochester, New York? Or was it the University of Vermont in Burlington, Vermont? I was accepted to all of them, but I only went to one. Does anyone know? Anyone guess? The answer is Rochester Institute of Technology in Rochester, New York. I got my bachelor's of fine arts in photography. That's 4 whole years of just photography all day, every day. And I got my master's of science in art education after a couple years of meandering about. So I lived in Rochester for 9 years, and after I got my master's, I would stay there for another year and substitute teach or taught. And then I came down here to South Carolina, found a job at Alice Drive Elementary School is where I started. And then 2 years later, I was up here at Sumter High School, same room, same everything. So now I live with my husband and my dog Ruby. And this is a couple of years ago. This is my dad and my mom, my sister, my daughter, my son. There's me, and there's my husband again. And that was at Christmas. Yes, Christmas a couple of years ago. We spent Christmas here. And it was actually, I've lived here for about 20 years, and that was the first time my sister came to visit me in Sumter. She lives in Vermont still, that's why. But you can see that I am in these pictures and I am far, far away from the camera. I did take these though, because I put my camera on a tripod and I set the self timer button, and it allowed me to take the pictures of all of us without having to have somebody else do it. So if you have a self timer on your camera, you can do that. What does Mrs. Montgomery enjoy doing when not teaching or photographing? Well, I enjoy Disney World. This here is the only photograph in here that is not taken by me, and I just put it in there because I am so proud of myself. I hate running, and I found out that Disney World has half marathon events, and I love going to Disney World. So this would be one way to start going to Disney World again. So I started running, and in 2017 in November, I ran my first half marathon in Disney World, and I've run 2 more since then, and it's super, super fun. But because of COVID this year, we couldn't go to any amusement parks. So my kids and I spent a few evenings playing Disney Monopoly, because if you can't go to Disney, you might as well just play the Disney Monopoly game. I like board games. It was fun. I like to go to the beach also, and I love boogie boarding at the beach. On the left is one of my boogie boards. I didn't get to do any of that this summer, so my husband and I spent a lot of time playing cribbage, and cribbage is a huge tradition in my family. My parents were taught how to play cribbage by their parents, and then they taught me and my sister, and then I taught my kids. So when my parents come to visit, we all play cribbage tournaments, which is a fun card game, and it helps you learn your math and your addition. Because I couldn't go to Puerto Rico and hike in the Puerto Rican National Park, I took my dog Ruby to the Poinsett Park here in Sumter and some other locations, and we hiked around a lot this summer when it wasn't too hot. When I wasn't doing anything fun and exciting, I was working on my graduate studies, and I was doing a lot of reading and a lot of writing. One person asked me what kind of camera is recommended. I recommend if you're really into photography and you want to get into it and you wanted to have a lot of control over your photographs, I suggest that you start off with a Canon Rebel. They're really good. They're lesser expensive cameras. They're still a pretty good chunk of money, but they are more user-friendly, I think, than Nikon. Some of you may like Android. Some of you might like Apple better. I particularly like Android better, and I like Canon better. I just feel like it's easier to use and it's more user-friendly. But there are some Nikon cameras that are equal to the Canon Rebel that are good starter cameras as well. Then someone asked me, do I like to teach? So in order to visually answer this question, I tried to figure out how I could show that through a photograph. So I found my toy, my Little People toy, Fisher-Price Little People schoolhouse that I had when I was a kid, and I just set that up and put teach on there because it came with all these letters so you could spell and things like that. Super fun. So I enjoyed teaching. Even when I was little, I tutored my sister. I just love it. It's great. All right, so somebody else asked me what my favorite color is, and this is my absolutely least favorite question in all the world because I don't really have a favorite color, and there's so many colors that are so great that it's hard to choose sometimes. There are a few colors I just don't particularly care for, but most of the time I'm drawn to reds, dark blues, and purples. So if I had to choose a color, I guess I would say red, dark blue, and purple. Those would be my favorite colors. Okay, so when you are doing your slideshow, you are going to come up with your own things. So you're going to take your own selfie. You're going to have some pictures of things you like to do. You're going to have some pictures of your family or your home. And what I would like you to do today is go on to assignments and then go to the August 31st, September 4th, and find. Now I'm assuming that most of you have a camera, a camera on your phone. So you can use your camera on your phone to take these and then upload them. If you don't have a camera on your phone, I'm pretty sure that you can take pictures with your Google Chromebook, that there's a camera, but there's a button that you can take pictures with that. So that could be an option too. And then when you upload it, you can just put it in your Google Drive and work on it. Okay, so you're going to go way down to the bottom, and it says All About Me slideshow. And you're going to create your own slideshow using images that you take. This means that you are the one pressing the button of the camera, setting up the shot, uploading the photos, clicking on the buttons below. So you're the one taking the pictures. So you're going to hit All About Me brainstorming document. That's not going to go there. Sorry. Oh, I'm going to go here. So it's the same. There we go. Okay. All right, I'm on the right web page now. Okay, so now I'm going to go here. I'm going to click on that, and that should send me to the document. This should allow you to write on it. You might have to go to File, Make a Copy before it will let you write on it. So you might have to go here under File and do Make a Copy. And then, so if you go here under File and then Make a Copy, it'll come up, and you can just make a copy, and then you can go ahead and start writing on it if it won't let you write on here. If you still have trouble, see me, contact me, and I will help you through it. Okay, so what you're going to do is on this side, you're going to put down a whole bunch of ideas that you come up with. So at least 5 ideas for each one. So pictures of you. Okay, are you going to take pictures of your face? Are you going to try to take pictures more of your body? Where are you going to be? What location? Are you going to have any props? Any of these ideas need to have you need to put all of that down there. Where you're going to be, all that. Any props, all that. Okay. Pictures that represent your family. You can take pictures of your actual family if they're not being cooperative. Is there an object that reminds you of your family that can represent it? Like the cribbage board represents my family, something we did as a family, or even camping gear, because every summer we always went on a camping trip. So those are things that represent family to me. It could be when you go home, there's always bread cooking in the oven or something. Maybe there's an aroma, so you could take a picture of a loaf of bread or cookies if that makes you think of your family. Okay, or sometimes people's like, every time I smell chocolate chip cookies, I think of my grandmother. So those are things that might remind you of your family, and you can use those images to convey what represents your family. Things you like to do. You're going to not take pictures of you doing things, but you're going to take pictures of things that represent what you like to do. So like the game of Monopoly, or the cribbage board that I took pictures of, or the boogie board. So I can take pictures of me boogie boarding, but I could take a picture of the boogie board. You can't take a picture of you playing tennis or baseball or football, but you could take a picture of the balls, right? Okay, so start putting down ideas of things that you like to do. And then favorites, like favorite color, I was like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to go around finding all the things that are my favorite color. But then I can decide if I really had a favorite color. So I used the whole spectrum, and that worked best for me with colored pencils. But I could have used crayons, I could have used paint, I could have used different colored flowers. You know, what are you going to use to convey what your favorites are? Images of what I want to do when I grew up. So you're not going to find the images, you're going to take pictures that show the image. So if you want to be a doctor when you grow up, maybe just you wearing a mask, because that will kind of look kind of doctory. Or maybe if you want to be an accountant, you take a picture of a bunch of spreadsheets, something like that. Okay, so think about what you want to be when you grow up. If you wanted to be an artist, easy, you could just get some pastels or some paintbrushes or some drawing pencils, and you would use those. Okay, so anything, any tool that would identify what you wanted to do when you grow up. Images that represent your home, your house, your yard, your room, or a person. So you can do anything for your home, whatever you think represents your home. You could take a picture of your bedroom, you could take a picture of your yard, you could take a picture of a person. Maybe a person represents home to you. So whatever it is, you can do that. Now, all of these should be taken by you, either with your Chromebook or your phone. If you have any issues with that, please contact me. You can use one picture that is not by you if you think it's really, really important, that describes you. Like I used that one picture of me running in the race, but everything else needs to be something that you take a picture of. Okay, so that is all. You're going to turn that in. When you're done with that, you're going to go back to Google Classroom and turn it into the assignment where it's due. So today, you need to first go to Jamboard, answer what is art. then watch the video, then go back to Jamboard and answer some questions about the video, and then come on here and do the brainstorm and turn that in. And that will be it for today. All right, I'm hoping this video works out because I've done this 3 times. So I hope it works out this time, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.